I mean, it just isn't going to hold water with young men in general, folks. It just isn't. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be looking at the Are Stupid thread, and it's about why young men are going to the far right, quote unquote, or specifically Nick Fuentes. Now, as we all know, he's a polarizing figure with his very strong views and will not really compromise anything different, and maybe this might be the answer as to why young men are drawn to him. Okay, but first, before we do that, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's get into it. Okay, so the start of this post is why do so many young men like Nick Fuentes, and it's a Rolling Stone article which I'm about to read to you now by Eli Thompson. Over there it says, after the far-right pundit went on Tucker Carlson's podcast, his star has been rising at my conservative college. I wanted to know why. In late October, former News Fox host Tucker Carlson hosted a YouTube interview with Nick Fuentes, a popular white nationalist and openly anti-Semitic pundit. At first, I didn't want to watch it. I thought Fuentes didn't deserve that bigger platform and that his views were abhorrent. But I began hearing friends talk about it on the campus of the conservative college that I attend, and many were praising the two, so I decided to watch. From Fuentes praising Stalin to calling for an exclusive pro-white Christian movement. That's not what he said. That's not what he said, but anyway, yeah. The podcast was the clown show I was expecting, but when I heard Fuentes decry that organized you-know-what had too much influence, I couldn't watch anymore. I had to turn it off. Yeah, like it's the worst thing this guy's ever heard in his life. Being a young Jew at a Baptist college, well, that shows you why he had to turn it off. It worried me. Would this rhetoric spread and become mainstream among many of my peers? But the podcast also shocked me. Growing up, I never expected a major political pundit to get away with making openly anti-Semitic remarks. But here he was, and it all seemed to do was attract more fans. Did they like him because they liked his edginess, or did they actually agree with him? I had known about Tucker Carlson for a long time, but Fuentes was different. For me, one of his clips came up in a group chat one sophomore year of high school, and I, as well as many of my peers, saw him as an outcast. He was like the Tate brothers. He definitely had fans, but for many he was too crazy, too extreme to be taken seriously. Well, I mean, if he was so extreme and couldn't be taken seriously, why did they deplatform him and debank him? That's no longer the case. In the past year, I've seen him gain fame among my peers. It started with him becoming a feature in many of our Instagram feeds, to him being all over our group chats and debates. Now you can't miss him. He's gone from being a pariah to mainstream. For kids my age, the party of Trump and Vance can now be looked at as the party of Trump, Vance and Fuentes. He might not hold elected office, but as his massive online following and interviews with podcasters Bradley Martin and Patrick Bet-David, he has been given a sense of legitimacy that has pulled him into the mainstream. My peers love that Fuentes isn't politically correct. He makes many points like on Israel they agree with. But even when he makes comments they see as fringe, it boosts his popularity because he's edgy and willing to say whatever comes to his mind. Someone will say they like Fuentes because he tells the truth about Israel, referring to his statements that Israel holds too much influence over American foreign policy. When I or anyone else mentions his praise for Hitler, they don't get shocked. Obviously he's joking because he wants to get reactions from people, one classmate told me. My peers aren't Nazis, but they're too easy to dismiss hurtful statements as just humor. They agree with him on many of his main points, but they also like him when he does say radical things. He's edgy, willing to say anything and not politically correct. That has become his perfect recipe to get young male fans. I feel like more and more we are expected to take these comments in stride. Before, comments like these were crazy or crude jokes, but now it seems like it's normal and appropriate. Before a joke about Jews controlling the world would empty the room, now it's background noise. It's literally just jokes, someone recently told me. People get so dramatic and sensitive about some of this. The bar for edgy keeps dropping and the bar for outrage keeps rising. If you call it anti-Semitic, you're the snowflake. Well, you are, but, you know. Not every kid at my school is a white nationalist. Oh, dude, probably like 99% of even the people you think of is that or not that. Not even the ones who make some of the jokes. Most just want to fit in and to show they've rejected woke culture. But then there becomes a permission structure. If you laugh at the joke and share the clip, then it starts to become an actual belief and not a dumb joke. In a campus culture that prides itself on being bold and contrarian, too many young men see cruelty as courage. But if nothing changes, the future of conservative politics will see much of the anti-Semitic rhetoric as a badge of intellectual honesty. The adults in the room still have time to intervene, but every second they hesitate, it will allow more students to think it's okay. There is no debate about anti-Semitism and no casual way to flirt with hate and pretend it's humor. My generation loves better leaders than the ones teaching us that bigotry is bravery and hate is just a joke. My peers need to grow up, but a major elected leader like the president or vice president could lead them in the right direction and to show that Fuentes isn't mainstream. Okay, now that we've read that overblown load of nonsense, let me give my 2 cents on this. Young men are turning in this direction because they've been policed for far too long and told what to think and what to say. For many years we've heard young men's concerns don't matter. Oh, they're privileged. Oh, they're part of the patriarchal structure. Oh, they're this, they're that. And when I read the comments, which we will now, you will see exactly the same things I am talking about here. Here's one. Because there's no positive masculine role models on the contemporary American left, who is going to win over these men? Hassan Piker when he paints his nails and goes to Japan to work in a maid cafe? The left used to have men like Che Guevara and Mao, rugged revolutionaries in the mountains with AK-47s leading other men into battle. Now what do you have? Zoran Mamdani smiling like an idiot? Well, he's got a good point. I mean, he's an ACP brigadier, which means he's a communist, but he makes a good point. The communist left did actually used to have masculine role models, whether you agreed with them or not. Now, as he said, it's Hassan Piker painting his nails or going to Japan to work in a cafe. I mean, it just isn't going to hold water with young men in general, folks. It just isn't. And now we've got another one. Every single political analysis about men in the past 2 decades has been this way. 1. We humiliated men when they were loveless, broke and hopeless, and instead of offering any solutions or asking someone to help them, we told them it was their own fault because they were bad people. Yeah. 2. Our opponents said, it's not your fault and you're not bad people. You're just facing the same shit world everyone is facing and you deserve some good stuff. 3. We still don't understand how men like our opponents. Maybe the number th time article about you being evil and deserving nothing will change their minds. And this is from a Gamergate MRA guy, a social conservative. And for the last one, it is funny how all of my male friends who are successful with women are misogynistic sexists. Sadly, many such cases. Okay. So we even on the Reddit thread, we are seeing this pushback by even communists and socialists with maybe a conservative bent or maybe a different feeling than the average Western communist today, that yes, men are downtrodden, men are looked down upon, men do not have the same roles they used to have. And left and right, in the past, masculine figures were important. We need them back. Whether you believe the right thing or the wrong thing, masculinity is not a crime. It is not something to be ashamed of. It is something that we all need to embrace if we are to survive as a society. Right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will be back for another one next time. Cheers.